Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhand, so welcome to Aspirin Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out an album from an act named The Dark Mike, and this album is called Love and Other Drugs. Switching over to here, it is 12 tracks, and we're going to listen to all of these one by one from start to finish, and it's actually quite hot in there, so I'm going to... Oi, there we go. Gonna put some air conditioning on because I don't want to roast in here. Just started spring and it's already mid-20s, so it's gonna be a wild ride. We're gonna listen to this album from start to finish and hear what we think. Let's go, starting with First Dose, First Love.
They say there's an MC in every town with love for his craft. So when Albuquerque called upon the Dark Mike, he said, no problem.
Haters everywhere called him the bad guy, although the blame for his wrath was on them and the mumble bullshit they idolized.
Who is that actor, that voice? I'm drawing a blank. Now, and it bothers me that I'm drawing a blank, because any other day of the week I could say what the guy's name is. Yeah, the voice is like Morgan Freeman.
Luckily for fans of true hip-hop, he embraced being
At least the starting part was, yeah.
ready to carry the torch for his generation.
And it's like they say, you know it takes two. If I gotta take blame, you gotta take some too.
It's a nice introduction actually to his work. It's a cool angle, having that sort of recognizable kind of vocal tone to start things off with the narrative and the story of the introduction to the rapper, Albuquerque, I dig it because a little bit of a background to the musician involved, and we've got these.
I'm not a nice guy. Nice guys finish last. I'm such a badass that I finish in the past, but got nice.
Such a badass that I finish in the past. Nice. I see where we're going with this.
To match to make you nod your head till you get whiplash. Fuck a mumble rapper with your auto-tune ass. I'll take any of them pussies and I kill them on the track. Basically, I'm saying his style is straight veg, and I'll put a pussy down like killing a stray cat. Got that.
Shit. Put a pussy down like killing a stray cat. Okay, we've got that wordplay on par here. That's pretty dope. I'm liking the smoothness of that bass line with the
throw up hot shit, fire in my phlegm, I burn the face off 'em.
like it's fairly simple with the composition. Like you've got the bass with that little synth, that boom boom synth, and the
When I
drums.
come on, I watch them play possum. They be too afraid of facing the fucking problem. I'm too awesome, got to take caution. Plotting where to put me inside of the top 10. You leave them one possible option. Get bored, pass out like Carl to John Stockton. It's like they say, you know it takes two. If I gotta take blame, you gotta take some too. And it's like they say, you know it takes two. If I gotta take blame, you gotta take some too.
Really smooth entrance to that chorus there. It wasn't a huge shift in the energy there, but like he was repeating that line, you could distinctly make it out. Bit of a shift in the percussion, but aside from that, kept a similar groove to what we've had previously.
Cause nobody is without pain, heartbreak, and loss. However, he used it all as fuel to carry on.
And it's like they say, you know it takes two. If I gotta take blame, you gotta take some too.
Takes two for, yeah, I suppose. So we're talking about sort of relationships and interactions here.
I could've swore you said your marriage is long dead. Then I finally realized the lies I was fed. Taking all the wrong meds, sleeping in the wrong bed. One track mind, I was thinking with the wrong head. Maybe in the end, I deserve pain. But bitch, don't play like you shouldn't get the same. I'm never gonna claim you're the one that got away, because then it would imply that I needed you to stay. Trying.
Damn, okay. So thinking with the wrong head implied I needed you to stay. So was there like some sort of little bit of drama in the situation where maybe they really shouldn't have gotten together because one person was with another or something like that?
Maintain, couldn't let a bitch bother me. I'm a superstar, high quality astronomy. If you hit the lottery, I'll give you my apology. But last I checked, you still work at idolatry. Your ego probably gotta be at least a little bruised. Call me immature, I refuse to lose. And if that's true, I'm rubber and you're glue. They ain't gotta bounce before I got stuck with you. And it's like they say.
Okay, and this is nice development here that I'm very happy is occurring. You've got these kind of like vocal sort of cuts with the piano line, which has a nice sort of brightness to the track on the left side. I think that's really cool. You know, it helps keep the track interesting because of the fact that you've got that musical theme built upon and there's layers added to sort of shake things up a little bit, you know. And this is a good thing to have in the first track because, you know, if there hadn't been those additional bits added, if there hadn't been sort of change, it could have been assumed perhaps that the rest of the album was going to be like this. So good job, the Dark Mic.
You know it takes two. If I gotta take blame, you gotta take some too. And it's like they say, you know it takes two. If I gotta take blame, you gotta take some too.
Okay, the tonality of it overall has changed, like harmonically. It's become a lot more sort of beautiful, I suppose, than what we initially had. Maybe it's to talk about like the case in the past tense to sort of describe the feelings of admiration, adoration. I don't know, man. It's interesting. I wasn't expecting there to be this two-way split, but that's okay. I haven't listened to the Dark Mic before, and it's nice to hear this kind of tone to it. You need that first track to be so solid, and if you don't have that delivery, it's just a really rough time, you know?
I present one of the dopest motherfuckers alive, the Dark Mic.
Sick. Dopest motherfuckers alive, the Dark Mic. I get it. He's very smooth as delivery. Smooth is a word I'm probably going to use a lot today. It seemed rather effortless, like he was talking, just straight talking to you. There's no hesitation behind the delivery or anything like that. It's very fluent and very clear in the mix as well. Like, I was happy with the different elements. I think that's part of why maybe the orchestration was a bit more simple with First Dose, First Love. Because if you have too many different instrumental elements in a mix, it can become too crowded. Dope. Track 2. Just a huge.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. That boy Prestige, about to give it to you raw. For the human life, I got no fucking regard. With the beam to your chest, you can take it to your heart. This Mozart meets your boy T Stark, cause I go too hard when I spit these bars. Yeah, I made the beat, watch it take it all apart. When I hit him in the face with that shimmy shimmy y'all. Lyrics get hard quick, cement to the ground. Giving you hard dick, you pass it all around. Pound for pound, I'm never down for the count. Cause I'm too fucking dope to be measured by the ounce. Take it to your bank, you can put your money down. I'm a DDS when I spit it to him now. Dennis and a thief when I put it in your mouth. Cause I'm putting you to sleep and then I'm taking all your crowns.
Okay. This is sort of about comparing himself to other rappers and other musicians, I suppose, that are sort of perceived competition or whatever. Sick. All right. Well, he's laying it down. There's sort of like a tinge of aggression there, but there's also a lot of confidence in that vocal performance. There is a lot of low end in there. It's a lot more severe than First Dose, First Love here. I think it's meant to be that, again, that aggression there in the instrumental section, as well as in the vocals there. There's shift in the root notes and the melody there. It's kind of, it loops itself really well. It resolves back into itself as if you're consistently going around and around and there's these constant battles.
I know you gotta like it. This shit is satisfying. I know you gotta like it. This shit is satisfying. Bitch, I'm dope. Motherfucker, I'm dope. Bitch, I'm dope.
Nice little bit of distortion on that vocal track there for the chorus. Again, it helps us stand out. You know, like we haven't had that in the album yet. Again, it sounds a little bit, has a bit more presence there. Like you really can believe it.
Motherfucker, I'm dope. I killer, a menace. I came to fucking end it. I could've given up, but the business wasn't finished. A microphone mamba, murder was intended. They're defecating denim with the venom that I'm penning. A beast, a dog on the new Earl Simmons. I'm killing all these bitches like I like to Michael Victim. And I'm making the witness out of anyone who listens. I'll play it for the judge and I'll never be acquitted. Y'all about the riches, like if you ain't getting fame, your Mile High Club, all you do is complain. Weak with the bars and the words you say, so I'ma end the week like a fucking Saturday. You know I'm insane and I'll never be contained from the murderous ways ingrained inside of my brain. I'm like Rick James with the little Clubber Lang. I pity any bitch who be battling my flame. I know you gotta like it.
Yeah, so I suppose it's talking about how, like, he's also commenting on people trying to get, like, rich from their rap and focusing on the money when they realize, maybe aren't aware that they can't sort of rap as well as they would need to be there, or they just aren't marketing themselves in a way that is helpful, I suppose. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's actually fascinating stuff. I enjoy this music. You know, like, it's not often that I enjoy music that's sort of this kind of in your face about the confidence that they have for what they do. But like with First Dose, First Love, he's already proven that he can sort of emote in a way, he can show a bit of sensitivity without it being sort of cringy or overwhelming. And here, he's also shown at this point that he can rap like sufficiently to be able to back up his claims there. You know, he seems very authentic, which is great. Which is what you need for this kind of stuff.
This shit is satisfying. I know you gotta like it. This shit is satisfying. Bitch, I'm dope. Motherfucker, I'm dope. Bitch, I'm dope. Motherfucker, I'm dope.
Cool. All right, and if we continue with this, basically that chorus line saying, "Bitch, I'm dope, motherfucker, I'm dope." You know you're gonna like it. Even these people that like he has issues with, they know that Dark Mike knows that they're gonna like it even if they're sort of talking shit about him, and it's quite a claim.
I'm beaten, I'm fighting for my freedom, and I believe in God, but I never really seen him. I'm like Leo DeCap, though I ain't fucking leaving. I beaten MC till the man stopped breathing. I said it, I mean it, and I don't need a reason. At time of the month, cause I leave a pussy bleeding. I never back down.
Wow, time of the month because I leave a pussy. Yeah, it's clever stuff. You know, like it's occasional as well. You know, I can only imagine if you put too much of that kind of wordplay in there, it becomes too much about trying to sort of show how good you can be with words, as opposed to the story that's being told there. So because he does it occasionally, like the end of like 4 or 8 bars or something like that, it has that much more of an effect.
I'll never be defeated. They call me Tiger Woods, they be thinking that I'm cheating. Built my booth in the heart of Elm Street. They be sleeping on me and I kill them in the dreams or take them to the...
Okay, we're a little bit more active with like the Elm Street and the kill them in their dreams stuff. Like again, it's very descriptive and you can easily understand the comparisons that he's making.
I'm a man Voorhees. I'll be cutting off the head of anybody on scene. But I'm not mad at you whack MCs. Every other motherfucker gonna claim to be a king. But when it comes to your boy Prestige, you couldn't fucking hang if you were Jeff Epstein. I know you gotta like it. This shit is satisfying. I know you gotta like it. This shit is satisfying. Bitch, I'm dope. Motherfucker, I'm dope.
Cool, and what he's also doing with that vocal melody there is he's coming back to the bass line, boom, 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 and he's kind of syncing up with that for the end part, which is kind of cool. You get that resolution there as he loops that bum, 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 and that melody is repeated, and there's also rhythmic sequencing and repetition of that goes on in these chorus sections, which allows them to be a little bit more freeform in the verses, because you know you're coming back to that part that's familiar.
Bitch, I'm dope. Motherfucker, I'm dope. I know you gotta like it. This shit is satisfying.
Trying to think of the scale that he's using there. Obviously it's a minor scale. So you go... Oh, he's using a Phrygian mode.
Bitch, I'm dope. Motherfucker, I'm dope.
That's cool.
Bitch, I'm dope.
So that's it's an E phrygian, I think.
Motherfucker, I'm dope.
Yeah, it's such a subby 808, dude. I love the grit to it. It's really well done. It's really nicely in a mix. I have a lot of respect for people who can get an 808 to behave itself in a mix. A lot of love for that. Placebos by The Dark, Mike, and NOYC.
Placebos, placebos, placebos. I can lie, I need those, need those, need those. Give me my placebos, placebos, placebos. I can lie, no.
Had a lot of time full of pressure and pain. Did everything I could just to get through the day. Trying different potions, all to bury my emotions, and they helped me for the moment, but the problems remain. I did a lot of drinking with my pen on a page. I always had a reason, having something to blame.
Sorry to interrupt that because I'm enjoying listening to him speak, but there's such a nice difference in the vocal timbres and textures of Anna, YC, and The Dark Mike there. Now, obviously, they're very easily identifiable and you can separate them. But like I like as well how The Dark Mike has picked this specific instrumentation, this harmony, to capture the best possible version, the best possible situation for Anna's vocal style. It's really clever stuff. And The Dark Mike is also making it work for him, you know. I don't think Anna, for instance, would have maybe necessarily, I mean, I'm sure she could have worked with Dope. But yeah, this is a more gentle song despite the potential subject matter. I'm enjoying the choice there. It's good stuff.
Verses or to be a better person, but in every other version it was all in my brain. Part-time artist, part-time crazy, full-time effort, hard work made me. Got a little money and I got a little lazy. Like your baby mama now, fuck you, pay me. Bought a clear bottle for erasing the mind. I woke up buzzed after chasing the sky. Am I living my life or just replacing a lie? All I know is that this bottle couldn't take me alive.
Okay, so placebos, we're talking about sort of maybe like alcohol or other drugs, kind of trying to heal the pain there. And we got a bit lazy after we made some money. So it's talking about maybe the development until that point where we started using those things to kind of deal with the problems that we had. There's also a really nice sort of vinyl scratchy kind of thing going on here, but it's occasional. I think that's done on purpose. It's nice to have that. I think if that scratchiness had been sort of random, like there's some plugins which will input the vinyl scratch in there for you as like a default, but it was coming in nicely after the snares, I think, in the verse section. And you've got some really gentle, lovely sort of synth and like electric keyboard or something like that. There's like an organ or something like that as well. They're really fun sounds that are being put in here, which kind of represent that kind of ambivalence, that floatiness that can come from relying on placebos and being in that moment of like peace, even if it's not actually real.
Every single day I've been plotting escape. I keep on drinking liquor and I call it a phase. Our time is all borrowed, I'ma party till tomorrow. And I drink entire bottles like I wasn't ashamed. Tried another bottle, hope it takes.
I like I wasn't ashamed. Like he gives space at the end of that line to just let the listener breathe for a moment. Because there's a lot of information that's been provided in these verse sections. And it's a really intriguing story, and it's good to hear more of what the Dark Mike is having to say. But if you fill in all the space in each of these stanzas with syllables, it can just be a bit too much, and you can kind of like, at least for me personally, I can kind of glaze over a little bit, even if I'm reviewing stuff. So it's smart work, and he finishes like da-da-da-bum. And he finishes it nicely and then starts again.
But every cup I swallowed, I was feeling the same. I turned into a hippie, did a little sticky icky, but I had to call it Britney cause I did it again. That's right, showtime, looking for a good time. Could've let it snow as I try to get my head right. What's the price of fame though? Contemplated all night. Death by cocaine, calling that a deadline. Got too high on the Peter Pan energy. I may never land, but I hope I do eventually. Till that day, I'll be sticking to my recipe and healing all my pain with the temporary remedy.
shit, healing all my pain with a temporary remedy. So that's the second stage of the story where they're kind of stuck in that groove and they're like, yo, things might change one day, but for now, this is my safe place. I'm just nervous about leaving it. I'm gonna rely on this stuff even if it's not necessarily what I want to do with my life. Sounds like the Dark Monkeys had a hell of a time with these things, man. That bum ba bum bum is a nice, energetic, playful kind of melody there, which has got a great groove to it, but it kind of feels it's kind of an interesting choice to put that there. I think it's cool. I'm trying to sort of find the words to describe why I feel that way though. Oh, we're double timing this chorus. You know, Anna's a really fantastic singer. You know, hits those notes flawlessly, nice entrance, holds them, doesn't sort of code it in a whole bunch of ornamentation, straight cut delivery. Great work, Anna YC, with this. Good job on the hook. You know, she's repeating these rhythms with her voice and these melodies. I can't get away now. You know, she's doing that, and she's telling a story, but you can kind of nod your head to it at the same time, even if you're not like. It's a weird situation. It's one of those ones where like you feel bad for nodding your head to it because you know they're going through a rough time, right? Because like when you think about it, it's horrifying that these people can't get away from these issues that they have and that they have to rely on these things in order to feel okay. Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that that's a thing that Dark Mike and potentially Anna has had to deal with. I hope you guys are doing better now. Dead Love, number 4, with the Dark Mike and Mike Theodore.
Never make her happy.
Oh, some extended chords.
Yeah.
Ba-ba-ba-bongs. Oh, some nice acoustic guitar work there. Oh, falsetto.
I remembered on your birthday, I was the one you called. I was fighting for your love, never taking the day off.
I'm liking the percussion in this as well, like in parts like Dope and Placebos and Dead Love and First Dose. You've heard like hand drums, you've heard like some sort of acoustic drum parts, you've heard electronic drums. There's a range of rhythmic instruments in here. And you know what the Dark Mike is managing to do is kind of apply them in a way that makes sense for the rest of the instruments. So well done.
God, but my logic was flawed.
And then like the reason I say that is because in this instance, just hand drums typically sound really good with acoustic guitar. You know, like say you put some sort of trap or like trap drums with like. You know, like that just wouldn't necessarily suit the vibe of the guitars. It'd be a bit too sharp.
Complicated, did you want me or not? I was stupid as fuck, but now I'm better off without you, because I wasn't the same when I was hanging out around you. My time's worth more than anything you amount to. When you're so vain, you think the song is about you.
I pushed my limits and I made my decisions and I'd break out this prison if I could in a minute. I don't know what you want from me now, girl, what you want from me now, girl, you've been home.
Before we get into the next verse, I haven't really spoken about the lyrics or or these other parts. Now, again, Mike Theodore is a great contrast to the Dark Mike, which I love. You know, like have the people involved in your project work with their strengths, you know, and you'll get the best possible outcome. It's always a shame to me when I hear an album and people have got more than one person who's good at doing the exact same thing. Especially on the occasion when I've heard people get like a better rapper in than they would be to do like a big part, and then the focus is like, wait, is this your track or their track? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, when you have this clear difference between these clean vocals, these like sung vocals like Mike Theodore's work here, where he's just such a fantastic singer. You can hear the effortless vibrato and the falsetto, legato switches, and he's got a great sense of sort of dynamic control here. And then the Dark Mike can just focus on the delivery of his vocals in a song which is, from what I understand, about, you know, a person that there was like love in the past, but like they were just a toxic relationship and they don't want to let them go and they just want to move on, but this person isn't allowing them to do so just because of the personalities involved, you know?
The bottle, I've been talking to the spirits because when I tried to talk to you, you didn't want to hear it. And since I couldn't say it, I just put it into lyrics. And now that I'm finally faded, the truth makes an appearance.
Oh, I get it. So is this chronologically linked? Like is this a story from like the start? Oh, 12 steps. Oh, I get it. Is this album about like becoming addicted to drugs because of like trauma that occurred earlier on in life and then like coming out of it at the end? Because that's a really fucking awesome thing to make an album about, and I really hope I've got that right.
Person that I was became the person that I hate. Then the person that I love could no longer relate. My little black book has got a lot of empty space, but you can find your name on my list of mistakes. It's more than I can take, I got some shit to figure out. And I be quicker to the liquor, I'm thinking I need help. I can't focus my emotions, I'm lacking in mental health. I loved you like Kanye loves him fucking self. And
I loved you like Kanye loves his fucking self. Damn, man. The Dark Mike throwing fists, but he's been doing it the whole time. But at the same time, I don't really see that any of them have necessarily been unrequisited. Like, I mean, there's truth to
I
that.
meant well and I had big dreams, but that shit was complicated by my lack of self-esteem. You left me broken hearted, destroying my everything. And this is why we fucking can't have nice things.
You destroyed my everything. You know, talking about how everything was destroyed, and this is why we can't have nice things. Yeah, so this person drove the Dark Mike to get involved in these things just because of how terrible the experience was. And he just was really struggling to recover from it. And like he acknowledges that it's a mistake, but it's just so hard for him to get beyond what occurred.
Pushed my limits and I made my decisions and I'd break out this prison if I could in a minute. I don't know what you want from me now.
Nice, half and half. Going a bit higher in that range.
Girl, you've been haunting me now. Why can't you let me be now,
You said I made you cry because I treated you amazing, but you told so many lies I couldn't trust that information. No matter how you play it, my mental evaluation is I have no fucks remaining. I'm out of my allocation. So
I have no fucks remaining. I'm out of my allocation. See, this guy's so clever with his words, man. The way he communicates and expresses himself. He simultaneously shows a really crucial vulnerability whilst also asserting himself in a way that's believable and allows you to understand that he's not one to fuck with, like, you know, but also at the same time, he's a human being like the rest of us. And this is really, you know, this is a fantastic album so
the
far.
conversations, I be playing your game. What I thought and what I said, it really wasn't the same. Now I'm getting under other women to get over pain. So I guess I've been addicted, I be looking for the strange. What else can I say? I think I need an intervention. I've been blind to your intentions, ignoring your imperfections. Dealing with depression since I was an adolescent. I was buying for some love, I was dying for affection. I probably never...
Buying for some, I was dying for affection. Dude, I think there'll be a lot of people who unfortunately can relate to stuff like this. And I can relate to a lot of this. Like, you know, I was depressed in my teens as well. I struggled to get past my first love, and it really fucked me up because it was really toxic. And, you know, it took me about a decade to get past that after therapy and stuff, you know. I didn't go down the same path the Dark Mike did. what Dark Mike has gone through sounds completely, utterly horrendous. It must have been a terrible situation. And the Dark Mike, Anthony Montano, here down the bottom, Anthony Montano. Yeah, oh. It's just raw and vicious, man. It's a terrible time. But I appreciate nonetheless the ability to go into this person's world and understand them better. That's the beauty of music. It allows you to tell that tale. It allows you to get people as close as you want them to be.
But fuck it, I guess I tried though. Hoes ain't loyal and they're even less reliable. Though it may be cynical, it's also undeniable. I'll leave the way I came in here. I guess I'll fucking die alone. I pushed my limit.
Woo! Oh, that's a bit rough, isn't it? I guess I'll just die alone. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be hope for the future.
Made my decisions and I'd break out this prison if I could in a minute. I don't know what you want from me now, girl. What you want from me now, girl? You've been haunting me now. Why can't you let me be now, babe? No, no, no.
Well done to Mike for being the foil there to kind of contrast there. You know, like, I think that Mike expresses that frustration, that just will to try and find something different to what the existence currently is really well. Although the Dark Mike, again, is very eloquent in the way that he expresses himself. The instrumentation with the guitar, the drums, and the bass was as simple as it needed to be. There didn't need to be more than this. Oh, terrible time though, man. Terrible time. What a ride so far. Too fucked up, number 5.
Bottle 50, take 5.
Let's do it.
Because I drink too much and get too fucked up, and I think too much when I'm too fucked up. And you've been on my mind forever's a long time. You've been on my mind forever's a long time.
Just before we get started, I think it's utterly gorgeous that we have this real brutal self-talk and just had this rawness in the vocals with the beauty of that piano. It's kind of like you're in a lounge, like lounge jazz room, you know, like with the pianist going doodle-doo-doo-doo, and you just got someone just ripping into it, man. It's a nice contrast, and it's very interesting with the double bass as well. The double bass is a great choice.
Thinking about myself, I'm a fucking mess. Raised in this hell and I'm so fucking depressed. When my birth mom wasn't busy smoking meth, she was playing on the slots with the fucking rent check. What does she expect? I became an alcoholic, drinking every weekend as I empty out my wallet. I'm a piece of shit, there ain't nothing else to call it. But I hear the first step is finally acknowledged. Yeah, I got a problem, liquor's the solution. OJ stats, I'ma kill it and abuse it. Keeping it 100 when I pour the fucking proof in. Drinking till it's hollow when I'm feeling fucking stupid. And the fucking truth is I'll wake up in my bed, hoping I can quit all before I'm fucking dead. Hurting like a motherfucker, banging in my head. Then I'll probably sleep it off and then I'll do it all again. Cause I drink too much.
Oh, acknowledging that issue, talking about where it started with his mom and then being like, yeah, I know I feel like this right now, but tomorrow it'll just happen again. It's just a lack of faith and change because it's just happened so many times. Holy crap, man. Wow.
I get too fucked up and then I think too much when I'm too fucked up. And you've been on my mind forever's a long time. You've been on my mind forever's a long time. Cause I drink too much and get too fucked up. And then I think too much when I'm too fucked up. And you've been on my mind forever's a long time. You've been on my mind forever's a long time. I've been thinking about a bitch, knew that I was feeling you, fucking with my head, contemplated killing you. Wasn't gonna do it, but you had me thinking cynical, trying to pretend I'm not a broken individual. Now I get the visual, you thought I'm an option, opposite of sense, girl, got nothing in common. Airs on my ways, I'll be weighing on my conscience, telling you to stay like if I be on the nauseous.
Wow. So there's this complication with him just not being treated like really even like a proper human being by other people as an option, you know, something they could partake in if they want to. I kind of understand why there's like this issues with self-worth and stuff like that. You know, really rough childhood, depression since teen, horrific, man. And then there's just these people who are just taking advantage.
Fucking toxic, basically I lost it. I verge of popping an Oxycontin, dealing with the nonsense, but I made a promise. I'ma be a better man, growing is a process. Look at what it cost him, losing her forever. Praying to the gods cause I knew I'd never get her. And though it's for the best and I wish I never met her, I just know I won't forget it till I find one better. Because I drink too much and get too fucked up, and then I think too much when I'm too fucked up. And you've been on my...
You know, I put the thumbs up because he was looking to change things and stuff like that, but it's just still quite dense. The atmosphere within this is quite dense, you know, despite the brightness of the instruments. You know, despite some of the more positive aspects of kind of acknowledging that maybe we need to sort of change things, it's still just in that very deep state of things are just really fucked up. You know, it's that stage we acknowledge you got a problem, but it's still at early stages of acknowledgement.
Forever's a long time. You've been on my mind forever's a long time. Cause I drink too much and get too fucked up, and then I think too much when I'm too fucked up. And you've been on my mind forever's a long time. You've been on my mind forever's a long time. I've been thinking about my mom, the non-related one. I've been thinking about the one that called me a fourth son. Love you, Mrs. Khan. Can't believe you're gone. God has plans, we just gotta play along.
I'm just glad that he had someone in their life that treated him well, you know?
Been so long, always on my mind. Remembering the pain, looking in my brother's eyes. According to the doc, he knew we would be fine. So tell me now, Stein, were you lying the whole time? Thursday morning, you boarded the elevator. I didn't try to hug you, I figured I'll see you later. Then after all the surgeries, I saw you laying there. I couldn't do shit, just continue with the prayers. And now I'm thinking back to all that you helped me go through. Guess it makes sense, I'm feeling like I should owe you. Drinking from a glass and wishing that I could hold you. I just thank God I had the privilege to know you. Because I drink too.
Oh, that's getting me, bro. That's getting me emotional. This is really good music. This is really good music. Like, you listen to him speak about his life. And people have their own problems, right? But for him to talk about it and, like I barely know the dude. You know, but for me to care this much about it just by listening to him, the story and the tragedy, you know, there's maturity there. There's the understanding that, you know, like there's a sense of loss, but also he was glad to have known this person and he's thankful for the role in their life. It's too. It helps you to understand why we got into this place that we're in, you know.
Much and get too fucked up, and then I think too much when I'm too fucked
Again, the
up.
music,
You've been on my
like,
mind forever's a long time. You've been on my mind forever's a long time. Cause I drink too much and get too fucked up, and then I think too much when I'm too fucked up. And you've been on my mind forever's a long time. You've been on my mind forever's a long time. Because I drink too much and get too fucked up, and then I think too much when I'm too fucked up. And you've been on my mind forever's a long time. You've been on my mind forever's a long time. Cause I drink too much and get too fucked up, and then I think too much when I'm too fucked up. And you've been on my mind forever's a long time. You've been on my mind forever's a long time.
You know, the music, the instrumentation, you had a and that chorus line, but it was very simple because it needed to be for the sense of making the song be about the story that's being told. And I'm glad that we've got that simplicity instrumentation because the stories are really compelling. You don't need to. This is the value of really good storytelling, is that you don't need to like throw a whole bunch of attention grabby stuff at a listener to keep them interested. Do you know what I mean? That there's no desperation because you can trust that when you've got music that's as well written as this and stories that are as well told as this, you can just trust the listener to hear you out. It's really cool to just hear music that's with that self-assured confidence, which is totally justified. Good Die Young with the Dark Mike and Jess Hurley. Let's do it. Oh, some overdriven guitar with a filter on it. Oh, there's some natural harmonics there. That's pretty cool. Where are we going with this? Yeah, now you've justified having an intro without the vocals this long. And the reason I say that is because like sometimes the mistake people make with an album intro is that they have the intro be like a minute without vocals. And like if someone's unfamiliar with your album, they're gonna be like, "Oh, what am I supposed to be listening for? Is this an instrumental album?" People will make assumptions like that. If you have like a longer intro like this, later on into a track, you already have heard most of what the vocalist has been able to do up until that point. So you know you're gonna be taken care of, and you can trust that even if there's a 45-second intro, that it's going to be it's worth listening, hearing it out.
So far I've come, so hard I've felt. The good die young, I pray I'll see you in hell.
Great things take time. I guess I was taking mine. I was thinking of a plan, developing my design.
Her vocal tone is very different to Anna's. I like it. It suits the tone of the guitar. It's a bit sort of more straightforward and sort of more kind of roughy, kind of a grittier tone to it. Yeah, it's cool. It's a nice contrast.
Rex with the voices in my mind, talking to the man and praying I see a sign. I was wishing I could visit you. Weekends that I was missing you. I wasn't falling in love, baby, falling victim to. I only saw the angel, leaving with all the bitch you knew. The beat inside your heart is the beat that I was spitting to.
I wish that I could go back. Wish that I could make you mine. We already know that. That would be a waste of time. But this ain't the end, so let's enjoy the ride. Cause this love is a cancer that eats me alive. When I lived in the darkness, praying for light. Cause I couldn't get you off my mind. So far.
Yeah, no, okay, she's quite a good vocalist, eh? Those vocal harmonies were on point, and the vibrato at the end of those showed that she has pretty good vocal technique.
I've come,
Very clear with her pronunciation of the words as well.
hard I've felt. The good die young, I pray I'll see you in hell.
I already lost you, I couldn't have lost more. But now even with the pain, now baby I want more. So I used to drink a lot, now I'm drinking a lot more. Hit the bottle with bravado, now maybe an encore. Used to overcome the shit that I'm running from.
I'm not laughing because I think this is funny. It's just shocking. Like, some of this stuff's really heavy hitting. Like, I drink a lot now, I drink a lot more. Hitting the bottle with rubato. And these are clever lyrics, but it's also like savage stuff, man. Like, when you're already emotionally invested, it just seems like things are getting worse and worse.
Dumb, all because I overdosed on that drug called love, and now I'm looking at the devil down the barrel of a gun.
I used to always say I love. Every day I pray for love. But really I'm afraid of love. So I run away from love. I want to be wanted, so I took advantage. I'm not used to love, so I know I did damage. It wasn't your fault, so just please understand that it's not the way I planned it. So far.
Okay, so is this like the perspective from the woman who is saying this stuff? Or is this like another viewpoint of the dark Mike? Because it's interesting that she's got this much time within the song. Which I'm enjoying, you know, like she's got a great voice, but and like her delivery is interesting, but it just seems like this relationship was a complete mess, man. A complete mess. It's nice to have a lack of a snare drum in this percussion. Oh, there it is. Like, for the most of it anyways. It didn't need to be that speed there.
You can have a piece of mind. Love will always hurt sometimes. But baby, the heart don't lie. Even if your light don't shine. You can have a piece of mind. Love will always hurt sometimes.
Having like an interlude without the bass like this as well is kind of cool, because it just, again, it shifts the focus to the higher registers, especially in those choruses where it's sort of more full sounding because it needs to be in a chorus, and allows the listener a bit of a break and kind of keeps them invigorated. What is this new part? What is this new angle, you know? Kind of sounds a little bit angelic. Kind of dreamy and floating like Placebos. I'll see you in hell. So is that completely the end of things and they're gonna see each other in hell? Is that it? Is this talking about the Dark Mike getting so unwell that like he's looking at sort of like hurting himself quite badly or something like that? And they're saying I'll see you in hell because he's going there or something like that? Is that it? Not sure if I understood the gravity of that track and I feel like I'm missing something here, but sertraline. Sertraline. Kind of a twisted sounding piano keyboard line, isn't it? What do we get going?
What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
If I was good enough, I wouldn't be in this position. Claiming that I'm dope, making it a mission. Not just weak, but the fucking definition. I take another drink, I drown another symptom. I think of Rob Williams, what was in his brain. This shit will go away, get better one day. But then the day came, just another Monday. And everything's the same, and I never overcame. But I'm...
Shit. Yeah, that's the thing, right? So this is more of a journey than like a separate concepts kind of album. Okay, because we're relating back to Dope, where I assume at that point he felt like he was the king and he could take anything on, and then it just kind of overwhelmed him with placebos and stuff like that.
Is what I keep on telling me, lying to myself. Happiness is meant to be, hoping that in time it's gonna quit affecting me. Not just if, but a question of eventually. Think I let it get to me. Back when I was 20, I never had love and I never had money. I found it kinda sad and I found it kinda funny. Felt like someone in his grave because now it's never sunny.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
What's the matter with you?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
What's the matter with you?
This is kind of a little bit like Too Fucked Up, where he was looking back on his life and kind of thinking about things a little bit too much.
Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
Shit, without him, Ron, I probably won't make it. Anthony Montano, Anthony Bourdain it. Not even a note, I'ma leave him all hanging. Living with a burden that I couldn't escape. And my mind's too dangerous, feeling like I'm falling. Lately I've been thinking, and I'm thinking that's a problem. Dad's so mad because I ain't never call him. Sometimes wish that he would've wore a condom. Even when I call him.
Sometimes wish they would have... Shit. He wished he hadn't even existed.
Never conversation, I'm not perfect, that's a complication. Can't be what he wanted, failing my obligations. I'm ignoring texts and blaming my occupation. Maybe if we face it, the problem's even bigger. My mother never cared if I had a father figure. So back when I was 12, she dated a drug dealer and she gambled with the figures till we couldn't buy dinner.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
Oh, so like the dad wants to get in touch, but like, it's just a terrible situation.
Oh, I'm just losing my mind.
He doesn't maybe want to like deal with that.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
What's the matter with you?
I can understand why he feels like he's losing his mind. The whole situation is just getting worse and worse, isn't it?
Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
I'm a fucking mess, going off the deep end. Living for a purpose I don't know that I believe in. Meds in the morning, Jack in the PM. Pills for my mood, liquor for my demons. What I really needed was a little bit of hope. Pain and sacrifice is all I ever really know. I feel like Art Fleck, I'm nothing but a joke. I try to sober up and find another way to cope. bless Imran and my other brothers for making me a con and giving me a mother. But God took her away and now I'm always thinking of her. I tried to get a girl instead but didn't really love her. So if I grab a gun when there's nobody around and I put it to my dome, does it really make a sound? I'm thinking of the option cause I wanna see her now, but she wanted me to win and I don't wanna let her down.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, I get it. So his like mother, like the mother that took care of him is dead, and he's talking about the fact that he wants to go see that person. He knows that his mother that took care of him would like not want him to kill himself. He's considering suicide, but he knows that that's not what that person wants for him, even if he's desperate to see them.
Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
just losing my mind, that's all.
What's the matter with you?
Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
This, what's the matter with you? I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
Oh, I'm just losing my mind, that's all.
That there is like chilling, but that's what I suppose what it can feel like. Just that you just, it's not a huge, massive explosion. It's just literally just when your brain, when you're in a position, it just feels like there's no other option, right? Some really pretty arpeggios going on here. There's a weird calmness to it, like it's scary. It's a little bit scary, this one. We got Leaving Paris, number 8.
Sache que je t'aimais. Ma seule erreur fut de ne pas te l'avoir montré assez tôt. Maintenant, je regarde les étoiles, sachant que chacune est faite d'un feu intense. Mais tous les feux dans le ciel ne représenteront jamais la passion que j'ai pour toi. Au revoir, mon amour.
I kind of understood a little bit of that.
I ain't gonna lie, you had me Cobra
Like I speak a little bit of French, but I didn't catch all of it.
Cause I just wanna kick it with you every single night. And all around the clock you were running through my mind with the non-stop thoughts, had you working overtime. I know I'm not the kind to turn water into wine, and I say the wrong things at all the wrong time. But you the kind of woman that be having dark mics, straight ghosting other women like a fucking poltergeist. Potion number 9, I feel a little buzz. If love is a drug, you my number one plug. I'm begging you for more, I can never get enough. And when you ain't around, I be looking pretty rough. A little bit of lust, a little bit of trust. You know that either one you couldn't have without the us. But the more I tried to make it work, you kept on giving up. So I took off the cuffs and I got back to getting drunk.
Sache que je t'aimais. Ma seule erreur fut de ne pas te l'avoir montré assez tôt. Maintenant, je regarde les étoiles, sachant que chacune est faite d'un feu intense.
This is a fantastically interesting chorus to have. Like, this is confidence. This is confidence in your own artistic direction, and I applaud the Dark Mike for having this, because to have a section in another language, you're gonna either need to like specifically get a lyric list to translate it and figure out what it's about, which means interaction with the artist, which is great. But also it just gets you thinking, It gets you thinking. The instrumentation is with a kind of distorted kick drum. It kind of sounds like a ringtone, like the kick is vibrating or something like that.
Mais tous les feux dans le ciel ne représenteront jamais la passion que j'ai pour toi. Au revoir, mon amour.
You could have been a doctor, cause baby I'm staying patient. Whatever you be saying, I'm taking your medication. And I recall the day when you came in with guns blazing. I'm shot through the heart and you be the one I'm blaming. You could have had a man, but you were busy complaining about another fuckboy that you were busy banging. You're claiming that you hate him and you really shouldn't date him. And then on your Facebook status it be saying complicated. And that's the kind of energy that had me out in Vegas. I was blowing all my wages on the women on the stages, thinking about my ex while I'm getting X-rated. I'm never really happy, but I fake it till I make it. And even in the AM I was getting hella faded, while I'm putting on a front like my pavement was gold-plated. But every time I lose, I'm losing more motivation. I do or die alone, the ultimate ultimatum.
Yeah, that kind of situation where you're having to be tough in order to get by in life. You're having to sort of be brave, and you're trying to find that fix with like women or like placebos, like any other type of placebo. But you can just have that other person on your mind and it never kind of leaves you because you never find that resolution. Because some people will just screw you around and they won't allow you to find peace, you know? And it can be really difficult to get to a point where you can move on from that.
Sache que je t'aimais. Ma seule erreur fut de ne pas te
Lovely
l'avoir
strings
montré assez
here.
tôt. Maintenant, je regarde les étoiles, sachant que chacune est faite d'un feu.
We've got like more of a kind of a development like First Dose, First Love, where we've got these strings and these guitar parts coming in, some higher register, beautiful harmonies.
Mais tous les feux dans le ciel ne représenteront jamais la passion que j'ai pour toi. Au revoir, mon amour. Au revoir, mon amour.
I thought you were the one, but I guess you're just another one. I said I thought you were the one, but I guess you're just another.
Is there going to be
Fuck
a
it.
development
I'ma
here?
keep on going, I mean since I got the beat on, I know I'm just a phenom who's battling his demons, but still the best to be on any word you set your feet on. With the way you're leading me on, though the shit was pissing me off. Better to get pissed off than to get peed on, but either way I'm only musky when I'm on my Elon. $1 billion swagger, let the bygones be gone. You couldn't buy my time now with eons and neons. No, I'm not the one, I'll never be a Neo. Yeah, you cut me off. Yes, bitch, we know. I always keep a single follow.
That cut me off for the music stops. It's little things like that which show that we really know what we're doing with this music.
By a couple zeros, but now you be lying so much, bitch. I think you were a Leo. Yeah, maybe I'm cold, but I'm happy to be frio. I'm your X-Man, Iceman, chillin' every lingo. So he and his amigos, they cannot compare to me. Oh, when even my alter ego was a fucking superhero.
Sache que je t'aimais. La seule erreur fut de ne pas te l'avoir montré assez tôt. Maintenant, je regarde les étoiles, sachant que chacune est faite d'un feu intense. Mais tous les feux dans le ciel ne représenteront jamais la passion que j'ai pour toi. Au revoir, mon amour. Au revoir, mon amour. Sache que je t'aimais. Ma seule erreur fut de ne pas te l'avoir montré assez tôt.
I'm repeating this twice. So are we getting past this person? Are we learning that we have to come to terms with this situation? Is there been character? Where are we going with leaving Paris? Oh, leaving Paris, the city of love. Okay, so we're trying to leave that situation and move on with our lives. And it's kind of mourning the loss of that relationship, but we're saying goodbye. We're saying goodbye to that person and trying to find a better future.
Les étoiles, sachant que chacune est faite d'un feu intense. Mais tous les feux dans le ciel.
It's nice and bright and a little more
jamais la
kind of
passion
gentle
que j'ai pour toi.
and pretty at this point.
Au revoir, mon amour. Au revoir, mon amour.
Love. Pain.
Stunning guitar riff here.
It's all
I'm loving the filter work on it, but it's very precise with its implementation.
love. Pain. It's all the same.
Yeah, it is, man. We aren't really built to cope with love that well as animals. We just gotta do the best we can, right? Lead Aspirin, number 9. Where are we going with this one?
It's the return of the murderous mic assassin, donning the mask and giving them lead aspirin, picking up the mic as a plan to attack him with the good old-fashioned lack of compassion, plotting my tasks in a haunted mansion. My brain got the angel of the panther implanted, me and Chadwick rolling in tandem to battle MCs and defeat the phantoms. Unlimited damage came to bring pain, but y'all don't want smoke like the truth campaign. I'll take your dame and get her to get brains, and I'm blowing my load all over her damn face. I'm explosive, fucking with wordplay like the 99 Dre, directed by Mike Bay, or maybe John McClane snorting some cocaine. Then I'm lighting up a track like Yippee-Ki-Yay. No MD, but I got those meds. I be giving them lead from the tip of my pen. Take a couple of these, I could clear your head. Take a couple of these, I could clear your head. No MD, but I got those meds. I be giving them lead from the tip of my pen. Take a couple of these, I could clear your head. Take a couple of these, I I could clear your.
So what medication is this? Is this a medication where, like, if you have issues like depression and stuff like that, you take it to help clear your head, or is this like a worse kind of sort of?
I've been in the game even longer than Vince Carter. Y'all not men, you bitches and my daughters. I'm a big deal like the ultimate barter. Y'all small time, so why do I bother? When I'm in the booth, I'm the Baba Yaga. My shit'll devastate and penetrate your armor. These MCs.
We've got like boom, boom, boom with the kicks, bass, and then like there's a guitar riff going on there. He seems a little more relaxed in this experience though than like with Dope when he was talking about his abilities as a rapper. It seems a little more genuine, like he's a little bit more sure of himself.
Praying to our Father, I still kill, I'm making them all martyrs. And it drops deep as it does in my breath. I never sleep, cause sleep is a cousin of death. You know that it's a dream if I wasn't the best. Would you sleep on me, then in peace you rest. Got old school steez with no regrets. I'm Killer Raekwon and Jizza and Meth. I'm RZA, you got old dirty and dead. Now you motherfuckers know to protect your neck. No MD, but I got those meds. I be giving them lead from the tip of my pen. Take a couple of these, I could clear your head.
There's a nice little shake or a ch kind of thing that we're going on there with the percussion. It's a nice chord note groove to that.
These, I could clear your head. No MD, but I got those meds. I be giving them lead from the tip of my pen. Take a couple of these, I could clear your head. Take a couple of these, I could clear your head. Your shit's been trash and even your beats suck, but y'all still thinking that you're cool as fuck. I'm looking at your page, I'm thinking you're out of touch. You see an MC, I'm seeing a free lunch. Good weed, booze, and such has got prestige in the mood to bust. The rhymes you drop all blow so much. You're a couple bars away from taking the fat nut. Bitch, so what? I'm keeping the shit nice. You a fake pussy, call him a fleshlight. Even the Grim Reaper holding the sight wouldn't come near me when I'm holding the mic. Who's a lyrical?
Damn, man. Even the Grim Reaper wouldn't come with near him when he's holding a mic. There is like a calm assertion going on here. There's a confidence that's returned here that seems a lot more genuine than previously. And it's just so smooth. That smoothness has returned. We're in that third act, aren't we?
The rappers he don't like. Best MC in the Duke alive. Call him the Dark Mike.
Goddamn right.
No MD, but I got those meds. I be giving them lead from the tip of my pen. Take a couple of these, I could clear your head. Take a couple of these, I could clear your head. No MD, but I got those meds. I be giving them lead from.
I think I was taking it a little bit too literally. Is like the writing of these lyrics helping him to get past his issues and finding like purpose. That could be it, I suppose. Pencil lid. Nice distortion of that bass, and nice sort of warm fuzziness to it. It just loops back. Oh, okay. Chorus time. Alright, one more chorus.
Take a couple of these, I could clear your head. Take a couple of these, I could clear your head. No MD, but I got those meds. I be giving them lead from the tip of my pen. Take a couple of these, I could clear your head. Take a couple of these, I could clear your head.
Sick. Fantastic. Fantastic. Really great. I'm liking that we're focusing more on the music now than the rumination that was going on before with the relationships and relationship issues and stuff like that. It seems like he's kind of moving on with his life and finding sort of a sense of worthiness for himself, which is awesome. All right, the take back. Let's go. The Dark Mike and AFRO.
Still remember the day that they tried to take her away. The only thing I ever loved, hip hop.
Hey!
One MC in the game I could trust to help me get her back.
Afro.
Yo, Afro, you ready? I'll go on first. Pick up the gag, get ready for combat. It's the Dark Mike and Afro, ready to bomb tracks.
I love this. I'm so happy this. He's found a sense of self and an equilibrium. That's beautiful.
Spring or summer, I'm ready for all that. But I caught him back and not him the way that they fall back. All my enemies end up like a witness that was planning on snitching on one of the Clintons. Call it suicide, but it's mad suspicious. With a gun in his hand that didn't match ballistics.
It's got a kind of like old school 90s hip hop kind of vibe there as well, with sort of like modern percussive, modern sort of production elements. And I'm just loving the vibe of the Dark Mind and Afro together, man.
Baby, I'm hardcore. I kick in the door with cover they run for. Blood and gore from the liquid source. I'm making them abort like killing your unborn. I'm true horror, they calling me Pennywise. I clown MCs, terrorize your lives. You'll flow too when I cannibalize. As I open up my mandible, eat you in one bite.
Kick in the door, ready to wage war. I transform and I take true form.
I'm rage, I'm a beast, I'm a plague, I'm a curse. Bloody everybody, we giving them scorched earth.
Kick in the door, ready to wage war. I transform and I take true form.
I'm rage, I'm a beast, I'm a plague, I'm a curse. Bloody everybody, we giving them scorched earth.
Bloody everybody and give them scorched earth. Beautiful, it's sick. I'm loving the teamwork here. It's great for them to split that hook in half, for each of them to come in with their own parts and to kind of seem like they're a team. And it's kind of cool because it's like Dark Mike isn't having to be alone through his sort of like reintroduction to the scene and everything.
Here on flight the landing, no near on my transit. Go here on my commandments, don't dare defy the planet. Commandeer, I change form. I'm an angel underneath the Most High. They're waiting for the day until he wage war. I swear it's
sick
sword.
flow,
I ain't
man.
afraid to perform and I can't afford. I am force all from dawn until the bloody morning. There be beasts that be roaming the streets of the townsfolk, defeating any enemy that go and try to surround fro. I'm action packed, full metal jacket, ready classic the camo. I got big muscles with no shirt. I think I'm Rambo. I can handle any torture method you throw at me. It can be waterboarding or burning me. I take pain like it's nothing. I ain't bluffing or bragging. I be ready for some battles. And like that Red Man track, it be time for some action. Too much damage, I hit them where it hurts. It be a war zone up on this doggone planet Earth. I'm out in the door, ready to wait.
Sick. I'm out. Beeps out like that. Talks his truth. Spits it out. He's ready for some battles. He can take that stuff. He's got muscles like Rambo. I dig it. It's that classic kind of bravado that I enjoy from hip hop. But again, both these guys can spit like they can justify it. And they're both kind of, they're at each other's kind of level. There's just this sick collaboration going on. I'm glad that this is the point where they had two rappers. You know, both their vocal timbres in the mix are easily distinguishable. But everything is mixed so well. And actually, as a general rule, with note with this album, I'm really pleased with the overall level of production with it. I think that the Dark Mike and whoever did the sort of mixing and mastering and recording, whoever was involved in that process should be like congratulated for just how consistently it's been throughout this whole album. I have got no complaints about any of the levels of any of the parts in this track. It's dope, man.
I'm a beast, I'm a plague, I'm a curse. Bloody everybody, we giving.
And you've just got wow, you know, going on the tail end as an occasional thing within the melody section. You got the guitar chords in there with the punchy drums and stuff like that. It's all so well done.
Kick in the door, ready to wage war. I transform and I take true form.
I'm rage, I'm a beast, I'm a plague, I'm a curse. Bloody everybody, we giving them scorched earth.
Afro, the Dark Mike. Fro, I'm in the building like.
Nice repeater there.
Afro.
Occasional.
I don't think my work here is done. I think I still got some more work to do. I'm going back in. Cover me. Back on the scene, it's a lyrical phenomenon. I never gave a fuck. Well, not without a condom on. Decapitating rappers with the noggins that
I
I'm.
never give a fuck without a condom.
And throw the fucking armor on and get the fucking drama on. Ready for the war, I'm ready to drop bombs. No discrimination, I'm murdering everyone. Good guy, bad guy, everybody's good is gone. Like walking into Comic-Con and bombing it on Ramadan. Get these rap addicts back in the bad habit. Frank Luke bars and giving them blue magic. John Wick time, yeah baby, I'm back at it. With the handgun, there's more of a hand cannon. I'ma take advantage, bitch, I'm above average. Your top 10 is nothing but mere practice. With the passion.
Your top 10 is nothing but mere practice. Dude, slapping that down. No restraint. No forgiveness. No time for that.
Savage. Give him brain damage and Dark Mike vanish. I'm out.
In the door, ready to wage
Back into that hook.
I transform and I take true form.
I'm rage, I'm a beast, I'm a plague, I'm a curse. Bloody everybody, we giving them scorched earth.
Kick in the door, ready to wage war. I transform and I take true form.
Again, like the calmness of the music and the groove of it insinuates to me that these people are saying this stuff as it's just their everyday thing. They are just these forms. They are this just they are these these you know, the spirited musicians, individuals, that is just their everyday kind of like caliber, and that's dope,
I'm a
man.
beast, I'm a plague, I'm a curse. Bloody everybody, we giving them scorched earth.
Sick. Well done. Really, really solid track. Great collaboration there. It's a shame that we're nearly through this album. I've actually quite enjoyed it. I'm just glad I'm glad I can understand what this is. A lot of this has been about. I'm thankful because it sucks when you do an album and you kind of can't put the pieces together. 12 steps. The Dark Mike and the Dark Mike and Antonia Marquis. A little bit more low key than the previous one. That's fine.
A letter in reverse, take it from yours truly.
Now that's interesting. I've never been like a massive fan of when you have these vocal parts which are kind of more sort of instrumental and they're kind of ooh, but I get it in this one. It's nice to have a change of pace where you had so much action, so many syllables in the tape back, and then 12 steps is more kind of that slow, gentle kind of sort of strings, sort of a vocal pad like whoa, and you had like the vocal harmonies. I think that's cool.
You're the only
It's a
one
nice
that
change.
even never really knew me. Russian roulette with a fully loaded Uzi. My thoughts are non-stop and they all go through me. Like Speedy Gonzalez, I just feel a little loony. With depression and the pain, I've been tired of the losing.
Nice
They said
work
it
with
would
that
get better,
piano
but
there.
they never really fool me. Like a politician praying for victims of mass shootings. I let it consume me and I finally admit it. Instead of dealing with it, I was swimming in addiction. If God is a judge of every one of my decisions, then does that mean that karma is really his criticisms? And if there is a heaven, I may never be admitted, but I know if there's a hell, then I'm already living in it. So every single Saturday I'm sinning to the limit, then every Sunday morning I'll just pray to be forgiven.
Falling through the sky as I chase another high, but I never escape the lows. Dreaming of a time when I lived another life. Maybe I've been chasing ghosts.
Interesting. That trumpet tone is very close to that Antonia's voice in the mix, and I can distinguish the two musical voices there well. But like you've got to be really careful with the mixing in a situation like that. But I think it was handled well.
Falling through the sky as I chase another high, but I never escape the lows. Pay another price, make another sacrifice while I'm drowning in the radio, the radio.
From the birth to the dirt, from the womb to the tomb, got a life of mistakes I'm trying to undo. I feel like Mayweather with nothing to prove. They make fun of me for moving, but at least I never lose. The other night I dreamt that I was sitting there with you, and I could take the red pill or I could swallow the truth. So I consumed the blue with the bottle full of booze. It was just another drug that I couldn't refuse. My pride was bruised with the pain untold, and my pen done froze when I couldn't let it go. Till finally I learned to embrace the cold and let my pen emulate all the beauty of the snow. The story in the poem, I was never on my own, with the feet and the sand that were carrying me home. The pain and the hurts, the blood and the bone. You're the one that held me down in the battle for my soul.
You're the one that held me down in the battle for my soul. Right, so yeah, it was the case that he literally needed to write this album in order to cope with what had occurred. I think that's really well handled. I think that that's a beautiful story that's been told. Again, I was emotionally invested earlier on, but this just kind of helps to elaborate on that. And his healing through writing these songs has been part of his sort of 12 steps of recovery.
Through the sky as I chase another high, but I never escape the lows. Dreaming of a time when I lived another life. Maybe I've been chasing ghosts.
The piano arpeggios are really pretty, eh?
Falling through the sky as I chase another high, but sacrifice while I'm drowning in the radio. The radio. Maybe I've been chasing ghosts.
Chasing ghosts. Like her vocal timbre works really well with this, and I understand why she's singing the notes that she is, and they all work well within the scale, and there's a nice sort of legato, kind of very kind of connected feel to them. Yeah, no, well done. That was about as much as we needed from that song, and it was handled correctly, you know, sub 4 minutes. You know, it sums up a lot of what's happened throughout this album in one, and you kind of need a track near the end to be able to do that. Love and War with the Dark Mike and Joe Borowski.
I'll be there through blood and gore. All this fear in love and war.
I'm liking the groove with the 808 and that kind of pan flute or whatever it is.
I was sent from the Lord to leave Mike's torn. From the moment I was born, I was ready to perform. Beats to the morgue, MCs to the morgue. I'm the reason for the dirt where your drink gets poured. Tell him I was forged in the eye of the storm. I'm my man Jay Christ playing the keyboard. A fetus with the mic created to wage war. I was strangling the track with my umbilical cord. So please.
Damn, strangling a mic with the umbilical cord. Wow, there is a lot more confidence. There seems like a true return to form here, you know. I like it.
Every page when I throw more flames in my boy Luke King. Basically, I'm saying that we were never the same. You a little bitch, I'm a little insane. I don't sell drugs, but my musical slang got him begging for a taste of my fucking supply chain. Tell him that my name is a heroin game. Give me money for my keys, never take it in vain.
All this fear and love and war. I'll be there through blood and gore.
And Joe Borowski has a nice contrast again to the texture of the Dark Mike. Sits well on top of the bass, sub bass. It's nice. See, it's sitting on top of the mix. The EQing's done very well on this album.
Like a dick to your dome, I was fucked in the brain. I'm a product of the only fuck my mother ever gave. Bills were never paid, and I was always afraid that my niece wouldn't eat, and I'd be the one to blame. Remember 12th grade, pretending I'm okay, contemplating suicide every other fucking day. I worked too hard coming back from the grave, so let's see you motherfuckers try to take it away. I'm pen on the page, the reason I'm still living. You do it for the clout, and that determines your limit. These shitty mumble rappers, you couldn't finish a sentence. It's like the shit you spittin' was written in hieroglyphics. My pen is God-given, I'm created in his image, and I'm not afraid of sinning. I'm chill with the blood spilling, the feeling of a villain who's ill and willing to kill him. So it's murder with the motive, I'm murking them every minute.
All this fear.
Chorus, yep, cool.
I'll be there through blood and gore. All this fear in love and war. I'll be there through blood and gore.
All I can recall from my first 16 is the greatest of my era is all I wanted to be. Like Eminem and Nas, or Kobe, Mike, or Kareem. I'm from a different breed, but living the same dream. I do it for my city, I carry my whole team. I bless them with a beat, then body and MC. A bunch of blind bigots, you bitches cannot see that your biggest downfall is your bitches and not me. Everything you hear, I'm giving you prestige. From the beats, flows, bars, I'm giving you all three. When I grab the mic, I fucking overachieve. I never suffered defeat because it's suffering me. Travis Pickle in a pickle, bitch, you better believe that I'm the kind of motherfucker with the trick up his sleeve. I'm the fucking hitman, I'm making them all bleed. The best there is, was, and ever there will be.
All this fear.
Best there is, ever was, or will be. Yeah, it sounds like the Dark Mike knows who he is at this point of the song and is willing to tell everyone else about it, but in a way that I think is a lot healthier than with Dope.
I'll be there through blood and gore. All this fear in love and war. I'll be there through blood and gore.
All right, that was the album. That was Love and Other Drugs by the Dark Mike. We just listened to the Dark Mike and Joe Borowski. So let's talk about this one. I enjoyed the journey throughout this track, for this album. I mean, I think each song in this album, sort of individually, could be a very strong single. Even set, even like Leaving Paris, which is like 5 minutes. I think there's enough in there to keep people interested, despite the length of it. I'm only saying this because a lot of people prefer like 2 to 4 minute singles nowadays. The production, mixing, and mastering is done very, very well. There are occasional bits where there are a few sort of melodic or lead instruments which were very close together in the stereo field. But aside from that, the people paid respect to the individual scales and key signatures. There weren't a whole lot of chromatic sections within the tracks that sort of induced a little bit of sort of like uncertainty. For the vast majority of the time, I didn't hear any sort of like flat notes from any of the singers and anything like that for the most part. And even if there was like the very, very occasional one, it was like like a quarter tone off or something, a quarter semitone off or something like that. Like it wasn't anything too terribly destructive or anything like that. It didn't remove from the experience. It's just I've done thousands of song reviews at this point, so I just hear this stuff, but I've got no real complaints about this album. I think that what was done really well, aside from the production being pretty much on point, the tracks were nice and loud without pumping, and there was enough change within these tracks where there needed to be, in parts where there were maybe slower vocal sections where there weren't as much of a story being told. Like Dead Love, Too Fucked Up, and stuff like that. Those tracks had a simpler instrumentation to kind of balance out the amount of work going on in the vocals, the story that's being told. And that sense of equilibrium, as I think I mentioned before, is very, very important. You don't want to have too many different things being thrown at a listener at once, especially if they're listening to your album from start till finish. It needs to be nice and consistent. You don't want to overwhelm people. And often less is more, because some of the parts, some of the songs that meant a lot to me were the ones where they kind of held back a little bit, in regards to the instrumentation. I mean, there weren't too many different musical layers. In fact, I don't think any of these tracks had more than 5 or 6 different instruments involved at any point. And that's great, because it leaves plenty of room for different vocalists to come in, like with Anna YC, Mike Theodore, Jess Hurley, Afro, Antonia Marquis, and Joe Borowski. Yeah, everyone here involved with these collaborations showed their strengths well. And I think most importantly, the Dark Mike is a rapper, clearly competent, clearly able to sort of communicate very well, emote well. He's not just able to go, those mumble rappers are terrible, and that kind of stuff. He also talks about his own life. He's able to communicate about his stories in a way that's nice and authentic and believable, whilst also being engaging. There was no parts which were dull or uninteresting to me through listening to this album. And yeah, I say that as someone who will, like, about 50% of the time, at least halfway through an album, go, oh, how much longer do we have? I didn't really feel it with this one. I genuinely felt intrigued and interested in it for the most part. And, while I think this is one of those albums where you listen to it once and then that you've got the story, it's kind of like watching a movie, right? At least for me anyways, I don't typically watch movies more than once. I know there's replay value in some of these tracks. Although, to be fair to the Dark Mike, the recording and the quality of the production was so good that you didn't need to listen to a song twice to hear the story. It's always a shame when you get hip hop and rap and the people don't record themselves or speak as clearly as they need to in order to be heard. They do not pronounce their syllables correctly, and then you can't hear the words properly, and so you miss stuff because of that. A lot of really good promise here. I really hope the Dark Mike can find some success with this record. I'm really glad to hear that despite the trials and tribulations that the Dark Mike has been through, Anthony Montano, I hope that Anthony can find peace and find sort of like a place to call his own, and I wish him the best of luck in future, as well as everyone else involved in this album. And that's effectively my review of the Dark Mike's Love and Other Drugs. Hopefully you enjoyed this review as well as the album. If you did, please do go show some love to the Dark Mike via the various social medias and Spotify. And stay cool, stay safe, and please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Catch you in the next review. Spider hands up.